For a couple who almost has everything, it could be very difficult to give each other presents when gift-giving occasions come up. After all, what do you give someone who already has everything they could wish for and someone who could afford to buy anything they want? As this wife starts to look for the perfect gift, she set her eyes on a DNA test. She then purchased an extensive DNA test as a gift for him in case he would want to reach out to his biological parents. But her husband's reaction was not what she expected. Mandy and Joshua have been married for a while. In the 5 years that they were together, their love resulted in 2 beautiful children. Despite the time they spent together and the life they shared, Mandy always found Joshua's past to be very mysterious. While Joshua knew everything about her, there was a part of Joshua's life that she will never get to know. Even Joshua agreed about the mysterious part of his life. You see, he had no idea who his real parents were. Joshua only knew one thing when it comes to his biological parents. He was told that his real mother left him on the doorsteps of an orphanage when he was still a baby. His mother simply left a note that said, "I am too young. I am not ready to be a mother yet." Lucky for him, a loving family adopted him. His new parents raised him well and allowed him to go to high-quality schools so that he would grow up to be successful. Joshua was smart and was able to attend college at a good university as a finance student. When Joshua graduated from college, he was welcomed with a lot of opportunities in the real world. Joshua took every chance he can to pursue his goals, and he was able to put himself into a financially stable situation. Even though he became successful, there was that gnawing feeling that something was missing. Later on, Joshua met Mandy, and as he got to know her better, he realized that she was what was missing in his life. Joshua felt that everything was falling into place now. He has found the love of his life. It did not take long for the 2 lovebirds to get married. Thanks to Joshua's success in his career, Joshua and Mandy lived a comfortable life, and their marriage was very peaceful. Joshua was promoted to a high position in a bank, and soon money was not a problem for their family. They were not ultra-rich, but they definitely had everything they needed and were able to afford anything they could want in the future. Their financial status, although very convenient, soon became an inconvenience for the 2. When you have everything you want, how can you give each other gifts? Christmas was coming up, and Mandy was running out of gift ideas for Joshua. She already gave him a luxury watch, a German Shepherd, and even a trip to Central America. What else could he want for Christmas? Mandy found herself clicking through different ads online. Then, she found herself on a website known for listing unconventional gifts. Mandy sat up and started browsing till she found the perfect present. Mandy ordered an extensive DNA kit for Joshua. Joshua often told her that he did not really care about tracking down his biological family because his life was perfect the way it is. Mandy found it strange that someone in Joshua's position is not at all curious about his past. What if he had close relatives out there looking for him too? It would take a few days for the DNA test to be delivered, but Mandy made sure that the kit would arrive before Christmas. When the package finally arrived, Mandy could barely hold in her excitement. Even Joshua was able to notice that she was acting happier than usual. When Joshua asked why was she acting strange, Mandy could not help but brag that she had found the best Christmas gift for him. Finally, Christmas arrived. Joshua turned the box over and read the text at the back and realized what it was. Joshua then sighed and held her hand. "Honey, I don't know if I'm ready to know about this. My life is complete. With the kids, with you. I don't need to change anything. I don't want this." Mandy nodded in understanding and took the gift from him. Mandy told her husband that she understood his reasons and that she will respect his decision. She took the test from him and left the room about to throw it away. But in Mandy's mind, the need to know more about her husband's past grew. She was determined to find the truth about his past, even if he did not want to take the test. So instead of taking the test to the trash, Mandy hid it in one of the cupboards in her kitchen for the meantime. Since Joshua made it clear that he did not want to look for his biological family, Mandy had to get samples secretly. She asked the lab in charge of processing the result if this was possible. The people at the lab allowed her to do so and gave her instructions on how to take the samples discreetly. Mandy needed a couple of samples for the elaborate DNA test. She needed to collect skin cells, some hair, nail clippings. These should all be placed in individual sterile bags and sent to the lab, which was just less than an hour away from their home. She got skin cells and hair samples in the bathroom after Joshua took his bath. She had to wait for Joshua to clip his nails and then pretended to throw away the clippings for him since she was headed towards the trash can. Mandy called up the lab and told them that she was on the way to drop the samples. Once that was done, she was told that all she had to do was wait for the results. Mandy felt a thrill over pulling all of this off behind her husband's back. She was excited to know the results, but as the days passed, the guilt of taking samples and submitting them for the DNA test without Joshua's knowledge was starting to grow. As Mandy waited for the results, she spent each day wondering if she did the right thing. She knew it was too late to cancel the test results. She then decided that it would be best if she did not look at them at all. But one day a notification popped up on her phone. It was the test result. She told Joshua she needed to go to the bathroom and excused herself. On the way, she grabbed her laptop and locked herself in their bathroom. Mandy opened the email the lab sent her, which included a lot of information. Mandy was confused at first about how they were relevant. She did not care about how far Joshua's roots were gone and what countries his ancestors were from. She only needed the names of his closest matches. The DNA test did not disappoint, though. They were able to link Joshua's DNA with other DNA samples in their database. For privacy reasons, only the last names of these people were provided. But it was enough for Mandy to work on when it comes to tracking down Joshua's real parents. As Mandy looked at the list, the last name of the closest match to Joshua sounded familiar. She immediately took out her phone and did a search on her Facebook app. The first hit she got instantly made sense, and this woman is her Facebook friend. It was a surprising coincidence. She could not contain her thoughts and found herself saying, "Oh my God," loudly. Joshua had heard his wife screaming and immediately ran upstairs, worried that something bad had happened to Mandy. He rushed into the master's bedroom and into their bathroom. He then immediately felt confused when he saw Mandy. She was just sitting, her laptop beside her and her hands on her phone. At that moment, Mandy was speechless. She did not have the time to come up with an excuse, so she had no choice but to come clean and tell the truth. Joshua was disappointed. He could not believe that Mandy would do this behind his back after telling her so many times that he was not interested in meeting his biological family. Mandy stayed silent to give him time to process his thoughts. She then said in a soft voice, "I think I know your mother." Joshua felt his knees go weak and he sat down beside Mandy. They sat in silence for a while. Mandy started to feel nervous. What if Joshua decides to leave her over this? It felt like she had just made the worst decision of her life by doing the DNA test. Finally, Joshua asked, "Who is she?" Mandy was relieved. She then showed the test result and the name of Joshua's closest match. She shared how it sounded familiar, and when she did a Facebook search, it just made sense. The woman in question was Estelle, an older colleague from her old job. Since the DNA test only gave last names, Joshua asked Mandy what made her sure that this woman was his biological mother. Mandy was not that close to Estelle, but she did remember that they were able to exchange a few life stories while at work. Mandy remembered how Estelle shared about her troubled past when she was younger. In fact, Estelle told her about getting pregnant at 18 years old and how she had to give up the baby. It was just too much of a coincidence. After a long discussion, Mandy and Joshua ended up deciding to contact Estelle just to clear things up. Mandy started to chat with Estelle on Facebook. When Mandy told her about what she found out, she eventually invited her over to their house. Estelle immediately came over, and when Josh opened the door, Estelle immediately felt a shiver go through her body. She instantly knew without a doubt that this man is her son. Estelle could not believe it. Once all the facts were cleared, it was pretty clear that Estelle was Joshua's real mother. And even if Joshua was not crazy about the idea of meeting his biological mother, he seemed happy now that he met Estelle. It was a life-changing moment for Mandy and Joshua. Estelle was able to explain why she left Joshua in the orphanage and apologized for it. Joshua told her there was no need to apologize since he was taken in by a good family that gave him a lot of opportunities. As mother and son made up for a lost time, Mandy could not help but feel relieved that everything went well. Even if Mandy did something that she should not have done, in the end, it all did work out. Mandy did what Joshua was too afraid to do, and in the end, he was able to meet his biological family. Reuniting Estelle and Joshua was the best mistake that Mandy did, and there were no regrets.